that's not on that level. But when we become so upset and so, so exclusively us alone, I mean, what is there? Are you doubting yourself?
It
becomes a tit for tat kind of thing, and there's no healthy
there's
discussion.
that powerful verse in the Quran, وَقُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقِّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ. Just جَاءَ الْحَقِّ. As long as the truth presents itself, falsehood will perish. It just needs to present itself.
Because a lot of the times there are questions that are raised by the youngsters, and nobody responds to them. It's tricky. So that creates a doubt in the mind, and that doubt, I remember Ahmad Didat, rahmatullahi alayhi, he once said that the only thing you need to do is to create a doubt in the mind of the other, and that's the beginning of the end.
That's very true, Mufti. I mean, for me personally, that's quite grandeur, but for me, I probably would have done a no social media day. So on Twitter, have Friday off, or any other day, but Friday in particular for us, and have it for just to clear your mind and have a healthy connection. What would you do, Kamal, if you were in charge of Twitter?
Yeah, I would make sure One Path Network gets a verified badge without having to pay $8 a week or a month, whatever. That's what I would probably do.
Yeah, I see you guys have thought about it. Man.
We have definitely. Mufti, a bit on that as well. If you were in a room with the world's richest man, which is Elon Musk, as we were mentioning, how would that conversation be? What would you tell him to guide him to the path, or what would the conversation be in general?
I'd bring a sink to the conversation.
Touche, indeed.
MashaAllah. Allah make it easy.
I mean.
Yeah, I think he's South African, so we would probably start the discussion. See, I'm a person, even if I want to get religion to you, I would start it off somewhere 10 kilometers away. And I'd get to it in a way that you probably wouldn't even figure that I've gotten to it, but I did. I do that in nearly all my lectures. I mean, if I delivered a lecture, I delivered one this evening here in Sydney. And when you want to say something, and this is advice to the da'is especially, when you want to say something, be conscious of who you're talking to, what they would like to listen to, and give them what you would like to give them, not necessarily with the olden method of wording things. You need to word it in a way that they know that, yes, and it's appealing to them. I would get the same message across. If you want to bring people to pray 5 times a day, you don't just come in and say, guys, you guys are going to go to hell, or, you better pray 5 times a day because that's the first thing you're going to be. It's important. That's an important hadith, the one about the first thing you're going to be questioned about. But how are you going to word it for the people today? How are you going to bring it to the point where you give that hadith? You have to first, build. There are a few points you must make that they would definitely agree with. They would feel that you understand them. You know the challenges they're going through. You appreciate the hardship and how tough it is to navigate through the difficulties of society. And then you give them what you have to, bit by bit. So the same would apply if you were given an opportunity to sit with someone. You can't just sit with
Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah, you can't just sit with him and say, brother, say your shahada. Because I could, when you asked me the question, I would tell him, say ashhadu. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
Realistic is you exchange pleasantries, you speak about common things, he knows, and you can probably introduce. I did make a comment about faith when he was questioning God Almighty at one stage.
Was it the hellfire tweet?
Yes. So I did make a comment, but it was very. It wasn't only directed at him. I have this habit, ma balu aqwamin. We take it from the hadith, where if there is an issue, I don't necessarily need to name and shame, but you need to broadly make mention of whatever the matter is and try and give a word of advice. It might not be full and holistically covering every aspect of it, but others would do it. So if I said something, another scholar said something, 1 or 2 might have been direct, some might not. All that together makes a response to what needed the response.
Sure. Maybe one day we can see a Mufti Menk sits down with Elon Musk podcast. I think everyone would love
5 hours. I think we 5 hours, 6 hours.
Yeah, I would watch that. I would definitely watch that.
You'd be surprised. Chances are I'd probably sit with you before he sat with me.
I'm just like a few $1 billion away from Elon's stature. Mufti, on the topic of Twitter, I think Muslim Twitter in particular, it's been described as a very toxic place, unfortunately. Primarily because algorithms, they promote toxic behavior. Let's be honest. Yeah. Outrage, drama, hysteria, it's promoted by algorithms, Facebook, YouTube,